Took this trade in the B period as we pulled back to retest that overnight low, which is the orange line. I think, I'm not sure. I don't feel like this is the best entry. I'm either a little bit late or a little bit early, depending on how you look at it. But the concept is that we've already been rejected out of the earlier value or out of range from earlier. So I feel like we're going to fix that poor low down there. And then the red line, if you look on a 4H chart, that red line is the weekly value area low of this week's weekly volume profile. So we've made it this far. I'm assuming we're going to fix that poor low. And if we did that, I assume that we'll go ahead and clear out that value area low as well. So on a trade like this, I'm going to try to get as close as I can to that poor low. I'll take a few there just because that can also be exhaustion too. So I've kind of learned, I want to take a couple. It's great to get to fix that poor low, but I usually, unless it's really moving, I'll go ahead and, take off a few. And then that number up in the top left there, that's actually my heart rate. If you've read the book, The Hour Between Dog and Wolf, you'll know what I'm talking about. So I think it's interesting to watch that type of stuff. I use heart rate when I'm working out, and I like it there. So I thought I'd bring it into trading. And after reading that book, it kind of makes sense what he's talking about. I'm watching the volume. I'm watching the delta. I'm watching that cluster chart, and it's kind of working its way down. But I am noticing, it's not picking up speed. It's kind of grinding down, but it's not picking up speed yet. You can see that delta chart. Like, I'd really like to see that kind of break that that level that it's at right there. That kind of that consolidation on the delta on the 5-minute chart. Notice on the TPO chart too, you have the value area low right there, the green line. So like I said, I feel like I definitely could have gotten a better entry. Basically, I seen it get rejected out of that overnight low, and I entered there. I knew what I wanted to do. We got up back over top of that overnight low and had, like we tested it again. If we would have stayed up there, I would have just closed the trade. And I will say on the heart rate, I've had a couple cups of coffee at this point. My regular resting heart rate is around between like 50, 55. And, so I've had some coffee, and I think I kept thinking about this reversing on me. So I try to keep it, I kind of watch that while I'm trading and make sure I'm like breathing and trying to stay as calm as possible. At this point, I really want that delta to break. Right there, you can see those imbalances on the cluster chart. I go ahead and take those 2 contracts off. Now I'm waiting for the fix on the poor low. Bring my stops down. I'm definitely not taking a hit on this. And I separate that one because if it starts getting iffy, I'm going to bring one contract down, either into those imbalances or at the top of those imbalances, just to kind of protect myself a little bit from that and get something off it if it does come back on me. Because like I said, that poor low could be exhaustion. You can see we're pushing a little bit lower. You see that delta breaking. One more push. There, it fixed the poor low, and it almost instantaneously took me out at that. That's the weekly value area low.